Hello, this video is brought to you by Deadly Apps, and my name is Chris Lucian. I wanted to make this video because we constantly end up creating scripts in Unity, and it's really frustrating when you create your C# script and you call it something, and all of a sudden you have a thing and it has these comments in here. It doesn't make the methods public. It doesn't have any of the cool stuff we wanted with it. And that's a big problem. I want to customize my script generator, and I want it to be usable from within Unity, and so on and so forth. So, typically I go in here, I end up deleting these comments, and then making these things public, and it's just a lot of ceremony to go through every time I make a script. So what I want to do instead is automate it, and the way we do that is with our script generator. So I want to show you what that looks like. Initially, I wanted to build a script generator because we have this tutorial out there on unit testing mono behaviors, and it turns out that it's a lot easier to test mono behaviors if you have basically 4 files. So it was kind of getting irritating making 4 scripts, cleaning up each script, and then going through and putting together the humble object pattern. So what I'm going to show you how to do here is, with our script generator, be able to go ahead and create the scripts that you need very quickly. So if I go in here, I have a number of templates that I've set up in the script generator, and these come with the plugin. So if I click on this humble behavior, I can say, give it a spaceship, just like in the tutorial, and then an engine, and I can have that, basically command the movement of the spaceship and so on and so forth. And so the spaceship is going to be the hard to test object, the mono behavior, and then the engine is going to be what we are able to mock out and use in the humble object pattern. So if I go ahead and hit generate there, it will automatically create the folder structure and the files I need to use to set up the interface and the unit tests and make this a testable script. So here we are. So now you'll notice that in my scripts, I have the spaceship behavior, I have the controller, the engine interface, and so now we have the mono behavior, which is the spaceship, and then the engine now gets to make calls, and then we can use that in the fixed update example. So I didn't have to do anything here to generate any of the script besides enter the names. And you can kind of see the template recognizes when you want to put in a lowercase version of the word that you entered, and it'll let you set that up. I'll also note here that the serializable portion of it allows public properties to be shown in the editor from an interface, so it actually makes testing it very easy. So yeah, but it doesn't appear to have completed tests. And here's our test. So one more thing, if you wanted to create any more of your scripts or different types of scripts, you can always go back in here, generate from template, and say I just wanted to create the regular C# behavior, but I wanted to change the way that the script looks. So I can just say something here like, hello world. This will create a mono behavior, and it'll just add the one file, just like normal. And in here, you can kind of see that it's already set to public. It's already had the words deleted, so on and so forth. So now I guess I'll go into how to edit the template. And so I don't have an editor set up for them right now, but you'll notice in here that each of these folders is a template. and it will maintain the file structure, and it actually used the same method for templating that Unity, the original Unity scripts does if anybody's gone in and changed the files manually themselves. So one thing you can do in here is just add pound signs and then a option, and then inside your template config, and we can go and look at this inside of Notepad. So our config menu now has the template key and then a semicolon and then a description for it. And that's what you saw in the editor there. So you just add as many of these as you want, and then you can template in as many of the different words as you want. So in here, if we open this guy, it's also a template. All right. So the last little bit that I want to go over is to teach you how to make your own template. And so one thing to note is that you can, of course, keep the folder structure that you have in your template. So let's go ahead and create a brand new one, and we'll use it from there. So you just create a new folder inside the templates folder, and we can give it a name. That will come up in that select list menu that you see when you first do the right click. So we'll just call this fancy template. You can put spaces in here, it won't hurt it. And then inside fancy template, we're going to go ahead and first start off with a script that we maybe wanted to create and turn into a template, and then we're going to have to go and change the extension, the file extension, when we're done and ready to use it. So this could be super new class. Probably a bad name. Let's call it boom. All right. We'll open it up in our editor. We'll make the initial edit. For example, maybe we want to just go ahead and eliminate this function, remove the comment, and change the main function in here. Maybe make it public, and in input template function name. And I'm going to say class name. So now what we can do is rename this. So obviously this won't compile, but what we can do, Unity is going to plain, show an explorer, go into fancy template, rename this to .template. Okay, now we've got a new file type. It will turn it into the expected type of file. And one last thing is we have to tell the editor what values we want in there. So I'm just going to copy this config. Actually, no, I can just make it from scratch. So let's just create, I typically end up, I just be lazy and create new files, so we just call this template. Jump in here. Obviously can have boom to look at when we edit this. And so what we want is class name, the name of the class, function name, the name of the function, and that's our template. So we just got to go into File Explorer and rename that now to .config instead. Config. Yes. So now when we go back in here, it will be set up. Unity is currently updating. All right, so that looks okay. So now when I jump into scripts here and I want to use that, I can just go in here and I need to wait for it to be compiled. sure it builds again. Ignore that. Reload all. Change the file, make Unity rebuild. Template, no longer .cs. However, it hasn't recreated the import all, re-import. So take a minute. This is not a file in here. Hello world behavior. Verify our template is right. Template config is not right. This is what the file should have been. Alright. So now we should be good to go. Right click, create, generate from template. Fancy template's there. And so we can say something like zoom and doom and generate. So create, since we didn't change the way the file was named. All. Of course, we have zoom, and then I think I spelled the function name wrong, so let's go make sure that we fix the template up. Oh yes, we have some capitalization problem there. So you saw how it just didn't replace the function name here. So let's go ahead and try it one more time. So I'm just trying to show you ways that you can make errors when doing these so that you can fix them yourself. So in here, I'll even put in class name. So now you can see that we have the pound signs in there, and so it's actually going to template the class name as well now. So go back in scripts, create, generate from template, fancy template, zoom, doom, generate. Now loaded in the zoom. See how it correctly names the file. Discard. And we have everything. Start doom, zoom, just like our template wanted. So that worked out pretty good. So now you can create your own templates. You can always generate whatever you want, and this is really helpful. It will work with any text file with an extension, and it's important to note that when you're generating your templates, I can go ahead and show it in Explorer here. You just do .file extension that you want the template to be generated as, and then .template. And what happens is Unity will refresh its database, and you'll be able to see the changes and have them loaded into the project immediately after it's done doing the generation. So it's a fully customizable generator, and I hope you enjoy it and use it well. So one more thing, I want to let you know that to visit deadlyapps.com for more updates. Also have a conversation with me on Twitter @deadlyapps or on YouTube, and we'll talk soon.